What is going on, Bulls Nation? So there are reports that Zach's camp wanted him to go to LA, the Lakers to be specific. And we all know who Zach's camp is. It's Klutch Sports, and we know Klutch Sports. It's LeBron. So we're going to talk about it right after this.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls
All
Nation.
right, Bulls Nation. So let me start off by saying this. I don't think that the Lakers should take Zach Lavine. I think they have a good thing going on down there, but perhaps their GM, LeBron James, doesn't see this current lineup as good enough to, propel them to the next level. Perhaps. Because when they say Zach's camp, I see two sides of the coin here. I see the Lakers fans are saying we shouldn't get Zach, and I totally get that, and I don't think they should. However, their main guy, their king, is probably the one pushing for this, because Klutch is LeBron. Let's just be perfectly honest here. When we talk about Klutch, the decision in the Klutch, ultimately, especially when it involves the Lakers, you don't think it passes through LeBron? LeBron's probably like pushing the Lakers as well to get Zach, one of his Klutch buddies and one of the top earners in Klutch, to be in his team. So this is not just Zach pushing to be there. Trust me, if LeBron doesn't want Zach to be in the Laker uniform, he won't be. They'll push him to Clippers or Detroit or something like that. So the fact that Lakers are even mentioned in this, it's a two-way street. Maybe not the Lakers, maybe not the organization Lakers, but maybe LeBron Lakers. We all know the power he holds in this organization, and he wants Anthony Davis, he got Anthony Davis. So we shall see where this would lead. Now, as far as what the Lakers would have to give up, they have to give up a salary to acquire Zach. You just can't avoid sending either D'Lo, Rui, or Austin Reeves. If I was the Lakers, right, I'm looking at let's just pretend that LeBron is dead set on getting Zach, which again, I don't think that Zach would be the answer. I think they need to get Caruso, to be quite honest with you, or another perimeter defender. But let's pretend that they're gonna take Zach because he just doesn't trust this core is gonna perform in the playoffs. Let's just say they got Zach. They have to send D'Lo at a minimum, because he's the top earner. You're not gonna send LeBron or AD for sure. So the most I would say makes sense for them is to send a Rui and D'Lo in the 2029 first. The Bulls are not just gonna get those two and just let Zach walk. I mean, if they could, I suppose, but that would be just a malpractice of, being a GM if you don't get a first for Zach. Acquiring D'Lo, let's put it in the Bulls' perspective. They don't need D'Lo. They have four guards. They have Io, they have Kobe. Even with Zach out, they got Carter, and they got Caruso. That's a log jam in guard. I still have high hopes for Io. He's young, he's pretty good defender. He's athletic. He's a one-man fast break. Yes, he's not consistent, but at least he's cost effective. He's not making a whole lot, and he's pretty good, and he's young. He has some upside. Same with Kobe. Carter, he's one of those guys, you just a bench guy, and Caruso, we all know what we have in him. So where does this lead D'Lo in here? If you're the Bulls and you acquire D'Lo, maybe you flip him. You be like Portland. You flip D'Lo to a third team, to another team in a different transaction, and maybe get a first rounder for him. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because Minnesota traded him for basically Mike Conley. So I doubt that you're gonna get that from D'Lo. Rui is still young. He has an upside, but he reminds me a lot of Patrick Williams, which we already have. I guess if you're preparing for a day or a year without Patrick Williams next year, where you don't want to re-sign him and just trade him, perhaps the Bulls could look into that. So the real price to this, I would say, is the first rounder. If I was the Bulls as well, if I have an option, I'd rather get draft picks than this compared to Rui. Rui is basically the price here in the 2029. 2029 is so far ahead. Rui is your price, I guess, and I don't know. That just doesn't seem to be too enticing. A return for Zach Lavine. Now, if that's all you're gonna get, then that's all you're gonna get. But if you go, I'd rather have, let's say, Jaden Ivey from Detroit, or somebody like I don't know, like Kuminga. Kuminga, I think, is a better young prospect than Rui. So that is, assuming those teams are willing to give up, let's say, Chris Paul for him, or with Jaden Ivey, some expiring Detroit contracts and all that stuff. I don't know, but as much as the Laker fans think that Zach is not needed for them, I don't think the Bulls need the return either. So it's not a good fit, I think, for both teams to do this trade. So I don't know. I think the Bulls, if that's what the direction they want, at a minimum they should get Rui in a first. I'm sure Laker fans are gonna think that's an overpay, but anything beyond that is an underpay for the Bulls as well. So that's why I don't think this marriage, this deal is worth it for both teams. But let me know in the comments if you have the choice, and this is mostly for Bulls fans because this channel is for Bulls fans. What do you think where's the best return realistically that the Bulls could get for Zach Lavine? Which team? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're a Bulls fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.